Welcome to a very special episode of the YYC Real Estate Show. My name is Sebastian, and this is Sheraz.
Hello.
It's a special episode because this is number 50.
Yeah, 5-0 consistency.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I mean, reflecting on the previous 50 episodes, how do you feel about it?
I feel great. Met a lot of great people, made a lot of great connections, and hopefully we can meet many more great people in this new year. Should be an exciting year in real estate as well. But on top of that, just meeting anyone from local YYC. So
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
Yeah,
And
no.
Zach, whenever he's back,
If he ever comes back.
he'll be back for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure. Well, I mean, his school season's almost done. Like, I think he's got like a month and a half left of school.
So 4-month holidays for him.
4-month summer vacation.
Nice.
Yeah, and then we'll have him back, and we'll be a full crew again.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. So, how is the market doing?
Well, last 7 days, your weekly update, 672 sales here in town. So picking up for volume and sales-wise. Top two sales were 2.1 in Varsity, 1972 house. But Varsity is very, very desirable community and area for those that don't know. So Varsity 2.1, and then Altador, a detached house, 1.809, sold for full asking price, 1.809. And it's in 2016 built detached. But again, Altador, again, is one of the most desirable areas.
Yeah.
Marta Loop. So
Yeah.
Marta Loop in town is comprised of Altador, South Calgary, and Garrison Woods. That's Marta Loop. And what are the two lowest? Is it going to be Chinatown? No, Red Carpet.
Red carpet.
Wow, look at this. Listed for 129,999, sold for 155.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
And it was only 391 square feet.
Whoa.
And yet,
Yeah.
because of low inventory, record low inventory, people bid and someone paid 155 for a property that was listed at 129.
Yeah. Definitely.
And sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, have you talked about the inventory yet, or did I completely miss that?
No, we haven't
Okay.
gone to the inventory. I'm just going top two sales, and
Yeah.
there's the lowest. And Banff Trail, 1 bed, 1 bath, 165, 512 square foot. It's more on line with what a 1 bed apartment here is in town. Those other ones are really small, 391 square feet. Like, you think 110 square feet isn't a lot, but once you're walking around one of these apartments, you'll understand the
Yeah.
differences there. And you wanted to know how many active listings there are today?
Yes.
Still under that 2,000. It's crept up. It's at 1,848 active listings today, all sectors. And experienced this many times in the last year and a half, right? Almost 2 years. So this year is no different from what I can gather and what everyone's saying. So when is the next interest rate? Because they held steady twice in a row.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see when the next interest rate was here. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, from the things that I've been hearing about the interest rate is that it has to come down. That's what people are saying, right? Some economists are saying that if interest rates don't come down, and a lot of people have to, like, there's a ton of mortgages specifically in 2025 that have to be renewed. If they don't lower interest rates by then, and a lot of people who are at the 2.8, the 2.5 interest rate have to renew at 5 something, it's not going to be easy for them, and mostly not for the economy. So,
Well, one of my properties is set for renewal October of this year. So the next the next interest rate update is April 10th.
yeah,
Then another one June 5, July 24, September 24, and then October 23, and then December 11. So I'm hoping the next one in April, the 1, 2, 3 following that, hopefully it comes down a few increments, and hopefully I'm not seeing a big change. So I'm in a fixed 5-year, 2.74.
yeah.
And, so hopefully it comes down to maybe the 3.
And is that the property they primarily use like as an Airbnb?
No, those were different. Those were only like 3-year fixed, and they were later.
Oh, okay.
This one was purchased like about 12 years ago, and you had a couple interest rate updates. I think originally it was like a 2, and then it went up to like a 2.74. So we'll see. And I'm sure everyone else out there is wondering what's going to happen as well.
Nervous and excited.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard some clients tell me, and I've sold them properties, and they went ahead with the variable rate. And of course, as the interest rates went up, their $2,000 a month mortgage is today $3,000 because they opted for the variable. Now, for those that don't know out there, there is variable fixed as well. You can opt in to get a variable fixed, meaning as the interest rates change during your period, whether it's 3-year, 4-year, 5-year for your variable fixed, you can choose to fix it for the remainder of that term. So if you lock in, let's say at 3% and you see it coming down, you can enjoy that and see what the next one does. If you see it come up and you're worried that it's just going to go up, you can choose to fix it for the rest of the term.
Okay, interesting.
So that's what's called a variable fixed.
Yeah. And that's probably for someone who's keeps a more attentive eye on interest rates, right?
Predominantly, everyone wants fixed. They know it's not going to change. They can budget themselves accordingly. So it might be a little bit more, but
which is kind of interesting because what I've heard is that historically, variable rate mortgages like save you money, right? But a lot of people during the last few years went with variable, where they should have gone with fixed. That's what I've heard, at least. I don't know. I might need to fact check myself on that one. But there's a reason that they offer variable. Like, it makes sense in some circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And glad to be back in Calgary. Just came back from a little trip to Halifax.
Yeah, what the heck are you doing way out there?
I was visiting the grave of Alexander Keiths. Yes.
Of the beer?
Of the beer, yeah.
I've dreamt of a river of Keiths before, but never like this. Never like this.
And I checked out their brewery tour and everything. I didn't just go for Alexander Keiths, but I went there for more St. Paddy's to check out. I've never been that far out east in Canada. But it's a beautiful place. Humid, slightly cold, but a beautiful place.
Nice.
Have you ever been out east, that far east?
No, only Montreal's the furthest east I've gone. Montreal, of course, like Toronto and Ottawa and things like that, but I've never gone past Montreal.
Yeah.
But I do hear that, out there, the Maritimes, it's one of the most beautiful landscapes we have in Canada. Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. Apparently, it's supposed to be something you should visit.
Yeah, definitely.
So
highly suggested.
One thing I was talking yesterday at my weekly brokerage meeting we have is there is that settled lawsuit in the United States with buyers' commissions and an industry standard, so to speak, where they're accusing agents and brokerages of colluding, and essentially then the buyer ends up having to pay more potentially for a property. So all the details can be found online. You can just Google real estate lawsuit in United States or USA and it'll come up. And there is one that's already in the works in Ontario. And from what I gather, everyone in Canada shortly will be affected in one way or another, including us here in Alberta. We've been fortunate to enjoy really good real estate statistics, numbers, sales, while the rest of Canada has been having a hard time. Mm-hmm. So I'm just wondering, with our relaxed rules in regards to real estate transactions compared to other provinces, how will this affect us? So interested to know and update everyone out there once it does come here. Yeah. And we can start talking about it. But so basically they want to do away with like a buyer's commission, so to speak. So there will still be a buyer's agent. However, the buyer must be aware in writing and know what the buyer's agent is going to receive, right? Right now it says 3.5, 1.5 paid by the seller. Only sellers pay real estate commissions, right?
Yeah.
So basically they're trying to get away from having to do that, or perhaps maybe set an actual standard, because there is no official standard. Everything's negotiable, right? There is unwritten rule, I would say, to what the commissions are and what the percentages for listing on MLS are. But
well, it's like an unwritten rule. It's just kind of and I don't want to say expectation, but at least here in Alberta, kind of what buyers agents expect to get when they're helping their buyer purchase a property, right? And if I'm not mistaken, with the rules of Alberta, if a property doesn't offer enough commission to pay the buyer's agent, I'm pretty sure that the buyer agent is allowed not to show that property to their buyer, right?
Yeah, and so sellers need to be educated on that we can go this route and you can save some money, a marginal amount compared to the sale of the home, but do you want to exclude some buyers by trying to save a little bit? And I would say if you're listing on MLS and you want to maximize the dollar you get for your home, you want to incentivize a buyer's agent with a pre-approved buyer that's shopping around. That's
a desirable buyer.
Yeah, exactly. So,
actually funny, I think the industry might be changing a little bit, because I had a realtor contact me and he was like, how little can we give buyer's agents? And I'd never really heard that question before. How little can we offer buyer's agents? Because we know that you want to offer them enough where they want to bring their clients, right? And I was like, I honestly did not know how to answer that question. I don't think that there's a limit at how little you can give them, but supposedly there's a strategy where you only offer $500. And I was like, I don't know what kind of strategy this is, but I found it kind of fascinating. I'm going to follow up with that agent and see how that went for him.
Like the hardest part about being a real estate, and one of the hardest parts is that, it's really not difficult, but it's a time consuming for sure. And there's a lot more work, in my opinion, and experience when you're having to help a buyer, because this is an important decision. They want to weigh all their options. They want to look, they want to take their time. There's some that are that type of personality where they'll buy right away, know what they want, not waste any time. But then, and it's in everyone's power to do so. It's your decision. It's a big decision. But there are those buyers, we've experienced them. They'll take 2-3 months, show them 40 properties, right? And sometimes they change their mind, or they
don't want to buy anymore.
Indecisive. So it is tough to be a buyer's agent for sure. But we'll see. I mean, I was just reading this here.
Yeah.
So a lawsuit alleging that real estate brokerage industry inflates commission fees has been expanded to include all of Canada. And an expert says it could bring big changes to our housing market. The class action suit filed in federal court last month, so February, named 72 different regional real estate boards, 10 real estate franchisors, and 8 real estate brokerages as defendants. So let's see what they say here more so, because again, they're talking about the states. So I just want to talk about, here we go, Canada. The Canada-wide class action lawsuit claims that CREA helped brokerages facilitate the alleged price fixing scheme. The organization says the allegations are without merit. So CREA is obviously saying there is no scheme here, right?
Yeah.
So CREA will continue to vigorously defend against these claims, and the association claims its listing systems are efficient and effective cooperating marketplaces that bring together realtors acting on behalf of Canadian home sellers and buyers. And
CREA is the Canadian Real Estate Board, correct?
Canadian Real Estate Association.
Yeah.
And so I mean, they're obviously going to defend themselves, but we'll see.
But what do they mean by price fixing? Like trying to
basically saying not price fixing. It's we're really just talking about the commissions here, right? And so because there isn't an actual ironclad, this is the percentage or this is the fee that should be charged. There isn't an ironclad rule.
Yeah.
There isn't an actual standard. There's an unwritten rule, which everyone in Alberta practices.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Everyone out there knows, if you've experienced selling your home, it's 7 and 3, right? 7% on the first 100,000, 3% on the remaining balance of sale price, divided by 2 agents. Each agent gets 3.5% on the first 100,000, and 1.5% of the remaining balance. This has been the norm since I've been trading in real estate, a long time, and so of course we haven't seen much pushback. There are brokerages and outfits out there that you can take to your advantage if you do want to save, and you can go to for sale by owner and get it on MLS and pay $500.
That's true. And like even those discount outfits that you're talking about, they'll generally discount the seller's commission, but they'll pretty much always offer full buyer's commission, right? Buyer's agent commission. That's what I've seen, right? They'd be like I don't want to name any brokerages, but it's I don't know. It does seem like I can't say the standard. We're not supposed to say it's a standard, right? We have to be actually very careful with our wording because we can't say that it's like fixed. It's not. It could be anything. It could really be
it's all negotiable. I mean, I've done deals and I've done flat rates for sellers. But again, of course, I don't offer or advise them to offer any less when you're offering to the buyer's agent.
Yeah.
Because that's who's going to come with a pre-approved buyer and make the deal happen. So between you and your seller behind the scenes, I mean, because we don't know anything listed on MLS, you're not going to see what the listing agent is getting as remuneration from their client, the seller. We don't know. It could be more, could be less, could be the same. So you can only just see what a buyer's agent is being offered if they bring their buyer to the table. And 9 out of 10 listings, all are 3.5, 1.5.
Yeah.
So we'll see what this does and if it changes that.
Yeah.
And how that changes the landscape for real estate agents.
Personally, for myself, if a listing offers less commission, I'll still show it to my buyer. Like if I can get my buyer, if that's the right home for them, I'll definitely help them.
At the end
of
of the day, you want to help your client, right?
I mean, it's never bothered me.
Yeah,
right?
Me neither. I've done many with these other brokerages that don't follow the same models that are considered the norm. And it's fine. I mean, some deals you make more, some deals you make less, but as long as your client's happy, that client will turn into a repeat client. That client will refer you more business.
Yeah. Exactly. And I guess it all depends on the realtor themselves. If it makes sense for them, right? It has to be worth it for them to earn that commission, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it's way too little, there is a certain amount of hours that need to be put into every single deal. And all deals come with some unexpected road bumps, speed bumps. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But if this new law comes out, like I wonder how they're going to structure it. Are they just going to say no? Buyers agents, what?
Perhaps they come out with a standard, and it is a fixed standard, and it is normal practice. Whether it's, there's other cities and towns in Alberta that don't do like the 7 and 3. They'll do like 4%, 2% for each agent of the full sale price, 5%, 6%, right? They don't split it up with a 7 and 3. They do just a percentage on the full sale price. And if you do the math, it's almost the same.
Yeah, it depends on the price of the property.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. We'll keep you guys posted, and we'll see what happens. Anything you want to share before we log off?
Anything I want to share? Oh, I'm excited for the summer, for some nice weather. When it was sunny here, I was starting to feel real good.
Hey, I took the family out to Banff and a little hike because
nice.
plus 18 on Sunday, and here we are Thursday, and there's snowfall warning. So.
Yeah. Which hike did you do?
Tunnel Mountain?
I was gonna say.
It's easy for the kids,
no,
right?
It's a nice hike.
Yeah.
It's a nice hike. But yeah, no, excited for what's to come, and super happy that we've stuck with this podcast for the last 50 episodes. I am proud of us. And we're only hoping to grow from here. So with continued support from the folks who watch us, we appreciate you.
Yes, and please reach out. I'd love to have anyone that's local and is paying attention and watching. I'd love to have anyone local on the show,
Yeah, exactly.
We've had many people on here, many great people we've met, and not necessarily, as you've seen from our episodes, it doesn't have to necessarily be real estate, right? I mean, we're supporting YYC. It's the YYC Real Estate Show. So anyone local, please reach out if you're interested to be on and discuss your time here in Calgary and not necessarily fixated on real estate, right?
Yeah. But again, thank you. And this has been episode 50.
Yeah. Stay tuned for episode 51. We'll have a builder on. So
sounds good.